welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. So today I have for you a video about the books I'm really excited for spring. So spring has sprung in the DC metropolitan area. The cherry blossoms are in bloom, so I'm really excited. I see spring as like a, blossoming, a blooming, a new beginning. So I compiled a list of books that got me really excited for this season, and so I'm excited to share about those recommendations with you today. So the first thing is the book that I'm currently reading. So some of you all know that I started reading The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, and this has been a really good book for me. I haven't finished it. I'm about a third of the way there. You can see that it's a pretty thick book, but it's really good. It's a novel, of course, so novels are much thicker. But so far I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the character building. I think one of Donna Tartt's, this is the first book I'm reading from hers, but I would say that her strength is really character development. Like each of the characters, she really spends time to describe their background, their story, where they came from, and to be able to convey to the author, us who are reading this, why the person is the way they are, how they view the world. For example, the main character, Theo, who, this is not a spoiler because this is very well known, but Theo, he lost his mother in a very horrific accident. And Donna Tartt really spends time going through his background, his interaction with his father, how he was very close to his mother. His brother was like a very important part of his life. He didn't have very good relationships with their extended family, but his mom was a really strong pillar in his life. Donna Tartt really spends time to describe that, and I really enjoy it. So I'm still going through this book, but for today I'm going to discuss some of the books that I'm really excited to read for this upcoming spring season. The first book, so I have 6 books here that I'm really excited for. So the first 3 are French books. So a little background about me, I kind of previewed this in my BookTube newbie tag. So I was born in Benin Republic. It's a small country in West Africa, and it's a French-speaking country. So I was born there, raised there, came here when I was about 7 years old. So I grew up speaking French. When I came to the US, of course, you're inundated with English culture, or American culture, not English culture, but inundated with American culture. French kind of wiped out from my vocabulary. So I can still, of course, I can speak French. I can understand French. I speak French to my parents, but I've kind of lost the ability to quickly speak the language, to have to think in French, to quickly understand. Like it takes me a little while to understand if the person speaks slowly, but I want to really get back into really understanding and speaking fluently. So there's this YouTube called Français avec Nelly. I'll see if I link the specific video below, but I was watching one of her videos and she provided recommendations of books that are easy to read and that are good for all levels of French, for those who want to learn French, relearn French like myself. So I picked 3 books from her recommendations, and so I'm going to share those with you. So the first one is Le Petit Prince, also known as The Little Prince. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of The Little Prince or recognize this little boy right here behind this blue background, but this is a world-known book. A lot of people know about this book. It's basically about this prince who lives on this one planet, and he is exploring these different planets, and he meets different people along the way. As he is meeting all these different people, he's learning a lot of things about life, so philosophy, life, love, friendship, and these themes are explored through the interactions of this little boy, this little prince. So of course it's in French. I'm really excited to read this. I never actually read it even when I was younger, even when it's translated into English, so I'm excited to read about this as well. The next book is called La Tresse, and this is by Letizia Colombani. This was another recommendation from Nelly's channel. So La Tresse translates to the braid in English. So this book is about the stories of 3 women, all from different parts of the world. So one from India, one from Canada, and another from Sicily. And it details the stories of these 3 women. These women are not wealthy by any means. They're very much, I believe they're lower class, but these are stories of these women, and it explores themes of the shared experience that we have as women, no matter if we live in India or Canada. So it talks about the shared experiences of these women, and also the resilience that they've experienced through their stories. And the title, The Braid, so hair braiding, I believe, is used as a means to connect all of these 3 women. So I haven't started reading it, but I'm going off of Nelly's synopsis of it. I'm really excited to read about this. First of all, I love hair, and I think it's very unique to detail a woman's story, different woman's story, through hair, which is something that I think women care a lot about. So I'm excited to read this. And if you see like the illustration, it's a woman braiding her daughter's hair I'm assuming it's her daughter. And then the daughter is braiding doll's hair. So I thought that was such a cute illustration. So I'm really excited about that. The next book is Grand Panda et Petit Dragon. So Grand Panda, Big Panda, Petit Dragon, Little Dragon. So this book is by James Norbury. This is similar to The Little Prince in that it explores themes of philosophy, life, love, friendship, the meaning of life, what we should do with our life in this lifetime. And it explores these themes through the interactions of these two characters, the little dragon and the big panda. So these two characters are just wandering about, asking each other questions. Like The Little Prince, it explores themes of like life and philosophy and why we're here and what we should do with our friendships, what we should do with our lives. So I'm really excited about this one too. It's kind of like the original stories of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. So from what I understand, Winnie the Pooh and Piglet were just like exploring and then just like talking about life and exploring different philosophical themes. So I think this is like a similar route to do that with like two characters that you wouldn't think would be friends, like a dragon and a panda. Where did that come from? But it allows you, through the means of their conversations, it allows you to explore life and everything. And what's funny about this is like I was looking through the table of contents. It has really cool illustrations, by the way. It's very, very nicely illustrated. So, but what's interesting is that I was looking through the table of contents of this, and each chapter is by season. And the first season is spring. And I was like, oh my gosh, this like connects with the theme of this video and spring in general. The fact that this book starts with spring was very like telling to me. So it says printemps. It starts with printemps, which is spring. Then été, which is summer. Automne, autumn. Hiver, which is winter. And then printemps again. So it's like a full circle book. So I'm really excited to read about this one too. So the next two books are actually recommendations from my mentor. So I was telling her that I wanted to explore my identity more. Like exploring identity is like a big thing of mine, like exploring who you are, why you're here, what your passions are. So I was talking to her about wanting to read more stories about women and their journeys to discovering their own identities. So she gave me these two recommendations. So the next book is Life, I Swear. And it is by Chloe Dulce Luvuezo, and the subtitle is Intimate Stories from Black Women on Identity, Healing, and Self-Trust. So this is a compilation of stories by many different women. So it's very well photographed. There are some beautiful pictures in here. Like for example, this one photo of this woman behind her library, and next to it is her story. So each of these stories are about different women. They're telling their stories of how they discovered themselves, how they came about to loving who they are, how they came to not try to be like other people, but really coming into themselves and really loving themselves. So I started reading some of these stories, and I haven't finished it, but I'm really excited to finish them and to learn more about these women and to connect with other women who I don't even know, but I can connect with them through their stories. The next book is Women Who Run with the Wolves. This is by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. And this is a book similar to Life, I Swear, which uses stories of real women to explore women's identities and self-exploration. Clarissa Pinkola Estes uses folk tales, stories, myths from different cultures that are focused around women to explore the idea of shared experiences among women, no matter what part of the world they come from. These stories, these myths, these fairy tales share different themes that women identify with. So I also started reading this book, but I haven't finished it. So I'm excited to kind of read it to further my exploration of just like womanhood and identity and finding creativity. Because one of the things, when I started reading this, one of the things that she highlights is that when a woman feels like out of place in the world, when she feels that she doesn't feel fulfilled, that means she's not connected to her creativity. In order to feel fulfillment and to claim her identity, she has to come back into herself and kind of go into creativity, like create something. That's the biggest thing that I remember when I first started the book. Like she was really big on creativity. Like it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a concert pianist to be a creative person, but just finding a way to be creative is something that she started to explore. So I'm excited to finish this one as well. The final book is The Essays of Virginia Woolf. So I was introduced to Virginia Woolf by another YouTuber. I forget her channel name, but she did an experiment where she tried Virginia Woolf's writing routine. So this YouTuber, she's a writer, and she was exploring the writing routines of different authors, one of which was Virginia Woolf. And what made me curious about this author from that video was that Virginia Woolf was an avid journaler. So she journaled a lot. And I'm a big journalist, so I was like, okay, that made me curious about this specific author. So I did more research on her, and I found that not only was she a novelist, not only did she write really great novels, but she also wrote articles where she reviewed works of other authors. So she was also a literary critic. And me being someone who likes to critically analyze the works that I'm reading, I was really excited to learn about how another author does it. So my thought process was, if I read how another literary critic organizes her thoughts when she is critiquing a piece of work, then that can help me become a better reader and a better analyzer of the works that I'm reading. So I went to the library, picked up this book, which is a compilation of her essays, and I went ahead and just like bought the book because I really enjoyed the way she articulates how she analyzes the book. So I haven't finished this either, but I'm excited to put this on my list for reading this upcoming spring. So that is all for today. I am really excited for spring. I feel like I went through like a reading slump in the colder months. I mean, I was pushing through to reach the Goldfinch, and I just had a really bad first couple of reading months of the year. So now I'm excited. It's a new season. It's bright. We can go outside. We can have a good time, and we can read the books that can inspire us. So I'm hoping that this video serves as an inspiration for you, so that you can think about the books that you're excited about for this new exciting season of spring. So thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.